Welcome to 3 Foot Good. Here we are. We're going to do our first series of videos. It's going to be on a fantastic game that we both love. It's called Freeblades. Freeblades is by a company based here in the United States. In fact, they do everything here in the United States. It's DGS Games, and they're out of Kansas City, correct?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Out of Kansas City, Missouri. Great company. Love them. They do amazing stuff. Miniatures are really looking sharp. We love the game.
Our tech wizard should probably be putting in pictures at some point of the minis.
I'm sure he is. Probably. I bet he's even going to throw up like a little website or something like that you guys can check, so you can go check stuff out like that. Way to go, Rich.
The link is down below.
Yeah. Way to go, Rich. Oh, by the way, he just went like this.
Yeah, we're not good.
Which either means the link is down below or he's got a P or something like that. Whatever. We'll just keep going.
So I'm going to start because I love this game. I'm actually, full disclosure, I'm a quester for the game, which is kind of like their
This
old...
might take a while. You guys go ahead and listen to him. I'm going to...
If you're an old 40K, it's like their Outrider program they had, etc., etc. So how did I get in this game? I was up in Adepticon in Chicago, probably the best gaming convention there is around. Highly recommend it. And my friend and I went up for the Warhammer team tournament, the Warhammer Fantasy team tournament. We were done. We saw this pretty cool looking board that had these fantasy miniatures on it. We thought, hey, we'll take a demo. Why not? We got time to kill. We're up at Adepticon. The game, we went on, we had fun. We were like, yeah, this is pretty good. They said, hey, since you guys sat and did the demo, we're going to go ahead and give you a discount on the rule book and a starter pack of the stuff. Now, they were touting their new faction, the Udagar, which is a cross between like Vikings and Native American shamanistic sort of things. And I just asked John, who is the game designer, I was like, did you guys just have issues with shipping on why you didn't have the box set? Because they said if you bought the individual Udagar minis that were in the starter set, you would still get the discounted rate because the box sets cost cheaper than buying each mini individually. And he said, well, we're a made-in-American company. At the time, they had a single concept designer, I believe is what it was, in France. Otherwise, everything else was done in the USA. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like to back American-made stuff. He said, well, the company we hired to do the boxes subcontracted out to China. And so we said, nope, we're not taking that. You can take it back. We'll take the hit. They didn't have... So I was like, wait, you as a company decided to do the right thing and not make a profit based on the fact that it wasn't done in America. And they said yes. And I said, I'm taking a rule book. And I did. I bought the rule book that day. My friend read it to me pretty much on the ride home from Adepticon, because Adepticon's in Chicago. And I've been in love with this game ever since.
It's your fault that I'm in this game.
It is. I've infected this entire area with it.
It's your fault. He brought the game back to our local gaming store, Games Plus One, Davenport, Iowa. And we tried it. We didn't have minis, but it really doesn't matter. And so we tried it a bit, and I liked it. It's a really good skirmish game. I believe the next year I was in Adepticon, or at Adepticon, and I walked by the Freeblades booth, and I just kind of perusing through the miniatures, and I saw this Herodellen, Sylvanus Knight, yeah. I picked it up and I looked at it, and it's amazing. It's my second favorite Freeblades miniature. And I looked at it, and John Cleves, the designer of the game, I looked at it and I looked at him and I said, what faction do I need to play this guy? And he handed me the box set, the Herodellans. I bought it there, got the rule book, and then that was it.
You were playtesting the Falcarians at the time.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
You're like, oh, I think I'm going to do these guys.
Yep.
And then he came back and he's like, I've got Herodellans. And I'm like, okay. So what is Freeblades? Freeblades is a fantasy skirmish game. So that means you do not have ranks and flanks. Each model is its own unit that will move independently on the board. I like to consider this game, for all you old-time gamers, it's like the old Games Workshop More Time that they stopped making minis for. It's a lot like that. The campaign rules are the best campaign rules I think I've ever played with.
Amazing.
Mainly because in this game you have heroes and followers. Those are the two classifications. Heroes have the more hit points, the bigger, badder guys. The followers follow behind the heroes and are just extra bodies. Well, your followers can gain experience and level up and become heroes, or just get better at doing what they're doing. Heroes can get injured if they get dropped and die, or not die, but get injured, and then they can become crap, or they can become even better. This whole thing, it's like an RPG on tabletop. If you wanted to climb up a wall, there's a roll you can do for that. Now, if you fail it, you might fall and take damage. You might kill yourself. If you want to jump something, that you can do that. You want to swim. You want to get out of this combat and jump over to there. If you can think it, there's probably a rule that'll allow you to do it.
It's also an inexpensive game as far as war games are concerned. You're only ever, and that would have to be a campaign game, ever supposed to have 18 models on the board. Max per side. Usually, even in some of our campaigns, 10 or 11 is probably where we end up.
Starter boxes start with six models, unless you're the Herodellans, because they have peasants, so they get 7.
Yeah, so you're never going to have a whole lot of miniatures on the table, so it's easier to keep track of. And so the price point for the game now is if the rule book is what they call a living rule book. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So what you do is you go to their website, which is down below again, because Rich is the wizard, and you download. You pay the $10, right?
Yep,
It's
$10.
You pay the $10. You download the living rule book, and that is all you need to do. When they make upgrades or anything like that, updates, you get that for free. Okay.
They send out a message to you because you have it downloaded and it's based off of your email, and it's no more than twice a year. They only will update it twice a year, usually towards the March, April timeframe, and then sometime in the fall usually. But again, and they said if they don't need to update it, they're not going to. But this company doesn't want you to spend year after year, money after money on rule books. They are not a rule book company, which is why they went to the living rule book. With Warhammer 40,000, you've got codexes upon codexes upon codexes. Every 2 years, you've got to get more books and more stuff, and you're spending $30, $40 or more on the book, and the starter sets are $45.
Yeah. Two people. Yeah, I think 2 people can get into the game for just a little over $100. That's 2 starter sets and the rule book. That's really, really reasonable for a miniature war game.
Which will buy you maybe a squad in Warhammer 40,000, maybe.
And it's a really good game. We really enjoy it, and so our next few videos are going to be teaching you how to play the game. On the website, there is a play aid that you can download
For free?
For free. And we're going to be going step by step through that play aid, kind of going through some of the rules that you use and give you a basic understanding and a basic knowledge of the game.
And the other thing they do is they have these stat cards for all their minis are available for download on their website for free. Now, it doesn't necessarily say what all of the rules mean, so you can't just download the minis and play. But you can kind of take a peek. They usually have a picture of the mini next to it, has the stats, and has some direction of, okay, this is the caster and it's this. Oh, hey, this is a really heavily armored slower guy. This is a very fast glass cannon type. So then you can kind of figure out what you want to play and then go do it. The minis are all metal currently. I believe they have one of their monsters is in a resin. And you can buy them individually if you want. The other thing, if running an entire free band is too much for you, they also have an Encounters version. An Encounters version is much more like a D&D Pathfinder, to where you would have one person be the DM, and then you'd have players control just 2 characters, just 2 of these minis, and you are all working together against the DM. So they've got something for everybody. They are currently playtesting a RPG rule set as well, called Bright Sword, and they're also doing a free Captain game, which is more of a saga type-esque of units of guys, where you'd have 3 to 5 of the same model type in a unit that would move and fight.
All based off of the same system.
Same system, same models. So if you buy the minis, you know how the rules work. That's going to be the same throughout all of their systems.
So it's pretty convenient that way.
So let's go to the game store and buy some minis.
Hey Dave, how you doing, bud?
Hi Darren, how are you?
Good. Got some Freeblades in, I see.
Yeah, got another order.
Rochelle Corsairs. That's what I'm going to start with this time.
A new army?
Of course.
All right. Well, it's going to be 40-50.
I can do that.
All right. Well, good.
So, we're not going to make a video about painting and assembling models because there's all kinds of videos about doing that kind of thing. So with a little bit of video magic, we're going to go ahead and turn this into this. Fully painted, 150 point Rochelle Freeband. Now, let's go learn how to play.